Atlanta News First Plus starts now.
And thank you for joining us here at the First Alert Desk on Atlanta News First Plus with some news updates that we want to bring you and, of course, a check of your weather forecast. It is a First Alert weather day today. Our First Alert meteorologist, Isaac, will be joining me here in a moment to give you your update. I want to start with an investigation that we've been following since early this morning out in Dunwoody involving an officer. This happened near Perimeter Mall. Two other suspects still on the run. One has surrendered. We have been told by police that that suspect that surrendered is suffering from a gunshot wound, and that wound is believed to be from the officer who fired their weapon. We are working to piece together the details for you and bring you the latest on what we know right here on Atlanta News First. And I want to talk about some of the rain that we saw overnight and the effects it is continuing to have today. Take a look at your screen. This is Fulton County Jail that you're looking at right here. This is inside of the notorious jail on Rice Street, and it is looking quite wet indoors and a significant amount of damage just from the picture here. Now deputies and inmates really navigating this situation inside of the jail as we expect rain to continue today. And it comes after county commissioners approved a $1.1 billion plan yesterday to overhaul the facility, and that plan being met by criticism from the sheriff's office himself. If you want more information, we have the breakdown for you of that plan and the latest reaction on the Atlanta News First app and on our website at atlantanewsfirst.com. And the big story that we're following this week, taking you all the way out to West Georgia as we are following the retrial of a former trooper turned Georgia mayor. I'll say that again, a trooper that was involved in a 2015 case. Now the mayor of a West Georgia town, A.J. Scott, was fired by the Georgia State Patrol after a crash that killed two teenagers. He's since been elected as mayor of the city of Buchanan, which is an hour west of Atlanta. Now, yesterday he was in Carroll County on trial. That trial continuing on today with prosecutors arguing that Scott, while on duty as a trooper in a marked patrol car, was driving more than 90 miles an hour without his lights or sirens on. Scott allegedly broadsided a car and killed two of the four teenagers that were inside at the time. And his defense, meanwhile, is trying to prove that the teenagers had been drinking at the time of the crash. A mistrial was declared in Scott's first trial back in 2019 due to the district attorney's office allegedly withholding evidence. Retrial is underway and expected to last about a week. Some things that we're following here in Metro Atlanta. Vice President J.D. Vance expected to arrive within the hour here in the Peach State. He is coming to tout to the big, beautiful bill that was recently passed, visiting none other than Peachtree City here in Metro Atlanta. So we are looking out for Vice President J.D. Vance. I want to take you out live here as we wait for Air Force Two to touch down, welcoming the Vice President to Georgia as he makes his way to Peachtree City. And this, of course, coming as 5 Democrats. Excuse me there, that's a live shot, and sometimes we have to fix our camera. This coming as 5 Democratic candidates in Georgia's governor race continue criticizing this bill for what they say are cuts to vital social programs. And of course, we're going to start to hear more from them as we near that Georgia governor's race in 2026. In the meantime, taking you back out live to where we are waiting for Vice President J.D. Vance to arrive, and you can expect some traffic around Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport. Air Force Two expecting to touch down just before noon. And your reminder that Atlanta News First is your Braves on Gray destination, as well as our parent company, Gray Television. The Braves are welcoming fans back to Truist Park tomorrow night as the team hosts the New York Mets. First pitch is expected at 7:15. And remember, you can watch the Atlanta Braves on Atlanta News First 4 more times before the season. Our next Braves on Gray game is September 5th against the Mariners. And the big story of the day, of course, is First Alert Weather Day, and the timing of the storms that we are tracking for that, I want to bring in First Alert meteorologist Isaac here, standing next to me. Isaac, we have had really a heavy downpour of rain over the past 24 hours, and a wet weather pattern expected to continue.
That's right, Maria. We've had 2 ground stops at ATL the past 2 days. Hopefully we don't make it a third today. Something that we're going to be watching, though, because we do have that First Alert weather day in place today, and it's going to be with us through Saturday of this upcoming weekend. So we do have some busy weather on the way. Starting this afternoon. It's been pretty active this week. Here's a look at what we're looking at going forward here. So First Alert Futurecast keeping us dry through the lunch hour. It's almost noon now, but we do still expect things to stay dry for another hour. And then we're expecting storms to kind of fill in a bit initially across the Georgia mountains and then push their way into metro Atlanta sometime between 3 and 6 o'clock this afternoon and into early this evening. That's something that we'll keep track of like the previous couple days. There's going to be that 1 or 2 stubborn storms that may cause a bit of issue. We had a severe thunderstorm warning yesterday and a flash flood warning issued for Fulton County. I can't rule it out again today. Obviously, most storms will remain below severe limits, but it is something that we'll have to keep track of. Going into Friday, it's another First Alert weather day, and tomorrow we may even see a sooner start time of some of the thunderstorms. And what we will see, though, maybe by tomorrow afternoon is that we are looking at the heaviest rain activity potentially setting up south of Interstate 20. But that's something that we'll keep track of, not a guarantee. Notice that it looks generally unsettled on Futurecast all day and all evening on Friday. Hurricane Erin, slightly weaker from this morning. Winds are at 100 miles per hour. It is still a Category 2 storm. Pulling away from the East Coast. So the good news for North Carolina and Virginia, they've had a rough go on the immediate sea shore with rip currents and high surf, things like that, and some coastal flooding and some high waves, but that will ultimately begin to lessen as Erin begins to accelerate and lose tropical characteristics over the open North Atlantic over the course of the next few days. Behind Erin, there's another system in the just east of the Windward Islands that has a 70% chance of development in the next week, and then behind that, there's a system in the real low latitudes of the Atlantic that also could have a 40% chance of development going forward. Here's First Alert radar this afternoon, or not quite this afternoon, and it is still dry. We do note the first signs of that shower activity right outside of Clay County, North Carolina. Mountains almost always see the development first. 81 in Atlanta right now, 81 in Canton, 79 in Gainesville. After a sunny start, we have seen some clouds build in throughout the morning, but again, we are expecting dry weather to hold at least for the next couple of hours. Storms will develop later today. The high temperature gets to about 89. Tomorrow, with even a sooner start time, the storms could be heavy again, and we're expecting a little bit of a less hot day at 85 degrees going forward. One more First Alert weather day on Saturday, and then I think Sunday maybe occasionally rainy, but it shouldn't be. It doesn't look super heavy or stormy at the moment. And then next week we have a gorgeous Monday, 85 degrees, lower humidity. It's going to feel great on Monday. And the great feeling weather at least looks to last through the first couple days. We may see some clouds increase again, but overall we don't see any signs of heavy rain or storms, and certainly nothing resembling hot. Highs will be in the middle to even lower 80s. And morning lows will be dipping down into the middle 60s. But the first 3 days here on the 7-day will be something to keep track of. We expect stormy periods of time this afternoon, Friday, and into Saturday before things quiet down early next week. Remember, you can always get the latest forecast on air on Atlanta News First and inside the Atlanta News First Alerts weather app.
Stay up to date on your latest weather from the largest team of meteorologists in the Southeast. Download the First Alert weather app for hour-by-hour forecasts and join us every weekday at 11:30 a.m. on ANF+. You can also text weather to the number on your screen, and we'll send a link directly to your cell phone.